Have you ever looked at a menu and felt like you needed a translator? With words like pescatarian, lacto-ovo vegetarian. It can get confusing fast. Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're going to give you a simple, clear breakdown of what these different diets are all about. So let's start with the absolute most basic thing. When you hear the word diet, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's, losing weight or cutting things out, some kind of temporary plan. But is that what it really means? Well, it turns out the answer is no. The actual definition of diet is way, way simpler. It's just our habitual eating. That's it. It's what you eat day in and day out. It's not necessarily a plan to lose weight. So, technically, every single one of us is already on a diet. And just so you know where we're getting our information, all the definitions and ideas we're going to talk about come straight from this guide right here. Think of it as our roadmap for navigating all these dietary terms. Okay, so to really get a handle on different diets, we first have to kind of look under the hood, right? See what our food is actually made of. So let's start with the absolute basics of nutrition. Everything, and I mean everything, we eat is made of nutrients. The best way to think about them is as the fundamental building blocks your body uses for everything. For growing, for repairing itself, for just plain living. They are absolutely essential. So why are these nutrients so important? Well, it all boils down to one single crucial thing: energy. Without energy, our bodies they just can't function. And the way we measure that energy is in calories. Now, it's super important to remember that a calorie isn't some scary thing to avoid. It's just a unit of measurement. The same way we use miles to measure distance, we use calories to measure the energy in our food. It's literally the fuel that keeps our bodies running. Okay, so if calories are the energy, where do they actually come from? This question brings us to a really, really important distinction in the world of nutrition. So, nutrients are basically split into two big groups. On one side, you've got your macronutrients. These are the big guys: carbs, proteins, and fats. These are the ones that provide our bodies with calories for energy. Then on the other side, you have micronutrients. Think vitamins and minerals. And here is the key takeaway. While micronutrients are absolutely vital for our health, they don't actually contain any calories themselves. All right, with those basics covered, we can finally get to the main event, breaking down all those different types of plant-based diets. And you're going to see that it's less of a single thing and more of a wide spectrum. The best way to understand all these different categories is to look at what's included and, just as importantly, what's left off the plate. So let's dive in and explore them one by one. First up, we have lacto-ovo vegetarian. This is probably what most people think of when they hear the word vegetarian. The name itself is actually a little cheat sheet. Lacto refers to dairy and ovo refers to eggs. So this diet includes dairy and eggs, but it excludes all meat and fish. Simple as that. Next, there's the lacto-vegetarian. Now, as the name suggests, they include dairy products, that's the lacto part, but they exclude eggs, along with all the meat and fish. And I bet you can guess what's next. An ovo-vegetarian is basically the opposite. They include eggs, that's the ovo part, but they cut out all dairy products, in addition to, of course, all meat and fish. And finally, we've got the pescatarian diet. The name comes from pesce, which is the Italian word for fish. So a pescatarian diet includes fish, and usually dairy and eggs too, but it excludes other types of meat, like beef, chicken, and pork. Okay, that was a lot of includes this and excludes that. So to make it all crystal clear, let's put it all together in one simple comparison. This chart just makes it so easy to see, doesn't it? The first thing to notice is that all four of these diets exclude meat. The real differences are all about the dairy, eggs, and fish. You can see right away how a lacto-vegetarian keeps dairy but drops the eggs, while an ovo-vegetarian does the complete reverse. And then the pescatarian diet is the one that stands apart by including fish. It's a really great visual to help understand the whole spectrum. So there you have it. You are now officially equipped with the vocabulary to understand and talk about the plant-based spectrum with total clarity. No more confusion, just simple, clear definitions. So I'll just leave you with one final thought. Now that you have this more precise language, how does it change your perspective? Does understanding these subtle differences make you think any differently about your own food choices, or maybe the choices of the people around you? It's definitely some food for thought. Thanks for joining this explainer.